Okay, so everybody look here. Everybody looking? All right. So Ivy was nice enough to lend. It did? Yeah, it's recording. Yeah. Okay. So Ivy was nice enough to uh, lend me her design, right? This is for your sister. Oh, and the family in general. All right. So this was done on Procreate. Many of you guys have access to that. Some of you guys don't. But I want you to see it's really pretty much a drawing, right? I'm sure you sketched this out on your pad and then went in there and gave it some colors and stuff, right? Um, so I was experimenting with this, and I'm going to show you guys again the 3D aspects of Illustrator now can really help make a design in just a few minutes, make it a lot better, give it some interest, right? Give it some pop, some visual pop. So here's the PNG. This is a transparent PNG. This one happens to be the RGB one, right? It's a little bit brighter. That's the one we're going to use. All right. I've shown you this a million times. I didn't know this until today. I was trying to do some 3D stuff with the new 3D options on Illustrator, and it didn't want to do it to the PNG. So I took it a step forward, right? And you guys should all know this, right? If it's not working, one of these new filters, check this out. I went to Effect, 3D Materials. I always start with Inflate. That's just what I've been going to. And notice it'll say up on top that it can't do anything. It says 3D Materials Effect currently works only on some object types and cannot apply on this one. So having said that, I told myself, what's the next step that I could do? What do I know how to do in Illustrator that may convert this, which is not vector, right? Command Y, not vector. It's a PNG. It's a transparent PNG from Procreate from an iPad. So I told myself, what if I do an image trace? And I do an image trace to where it's just like the image. I'm not going to change it. Watch this. Let's go to image trace, right? Let's go a step back. You have to undo the 3D thing. Oh, there it is. So there's my image trace. I'm going to hit preview. And I'm going to use over here on the settings, high fidelity photo. That's going to give you the most accurate original tracing, right? Whether it be a photo or an illustration like this, right? And this is considered an illustration, right? Ivy has a definite style that we've seen these last couple of years, right? You could just see this and say, I know Ivy did that. Yes, anybody? All right, so now Illustrator's trying to draw it for me. Don't forget, step 2 of all image traces, if you want them to be vector, it's not vector yet. It's tracing it, but it's not vector yet. And I'm leaving the white on this one. You'll see why, because I don't want this little white tip of the bat or the bottom handle of the bat to be gone. Object, expand. That is the second step of doing any image trace. I hope you guys remember this. This may help you later. Now is it vector? It is vector. Now I come in with my direct select or hollow arrow. Guys, be quiet over there. Pay attention. And then I use my direct select and I click on only the white right here. Everybody looking. Click on only the white, right? And I hit delete. And now I have a nice vector. It's pretty much identical because the style is very easy for Illustrator to draw. Guys, pay attention up there. So check this out. So now I have a vector. Now I go to 3D Materials and I go to Inflate, right? And it's doing its thing. And guess what? It's going to work now. How simple was that? I know my skills, my Illustrator skills. Simple image tracing made this a file now that the 3D will work on, okay? Now, I'm not saying this is the best, but obviously already it's making it look kind of puffy, right? It falls under all the rules. I'm not even going to overdo this. I'm going to leave it like that. It's kind of cool looking. It gives it definitely some volume, right? And then remember, you can come in here to this little wheel and give it a little angle. I mean, I don't know why people aren't taking advantage of the 3D options now that we have an Illustrator. There's some really, really top-end designs. I have a YouTube video I'll post along with this besides my video. It's really something you guys should use. And you can, what the cool thing is, you guys that have a good mastery of Illustrator, right? You can actually export this, use it for social media, for quick video edits, anything you can create here. Remember, you can do that. Okay. Oops, what happened here? Oh, there it goes again. Sorry, it struggled with that. Okay, so let's do that one more time. Oh, now it's having a conniption. It just did it for me earlier. Let's see, hold on. Let's do an extrude. Oh, what? Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, that's up to you, right? Now that we made it vector, you can go in there and say, take the ball. Yeah, yeah, but you'd have to separate them manually. Sure, you could do that. I'm just doing it to all of it at once. All right. Yeah, hold on. I had it working earlier. Now it doesn't want to. So yes, if you didn't hear what Reem said, so check this out. I could do that. I could just do the purple background by selecting it with a direct select. You might have to copy and do some different things, right? Like this, I could separate them. Once you make them image trace, yeah, sure, you can separate everything. You might have to make a few copies and delete stuff, but it'll work. All right, so let's go do this. Let me do it one more time. Hopefully it doesn't freak out here. Hold on. It worked earlier, and now I'm trying. I mean, remember, anything 3D takes up a lot of memory, guys, so be aware of that. Yeah, yeah, there it is. Okay, I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm not gonna rotate it. I'm just gonna do it like this. Everybody watching? Check this out. So I already went from nice and flat to a cool little kind of cushiony looking stuff, right? Now watch this. Don't tell me you can't do this, right? So some people would say, okay, I'm good there. What if we did a simple stylized effect, right? We have drop shadow in Illustrator. Everybody look up here. Boom. So simple. Now I'm giving it a little drop shadow, right? And you can tell it the offset here. So it'll move it a little bit. Let's go 2. I don't know if that's too much. Oh, that's way too much. Okay. So effect. Super simple stuff, guys, just to help this thing out. Oh, let's do 1. And then, so we got a nice drop shadow, right? Okay, so we're already changing this. Now, don't forget, can you draw stuff very easily in Illustrator? And this is just an example. I'm not saying this is perfect, but I can draw shapes. How about a simple triangle? All right. Check this out. Everybody watching? All right. Don't tell me you can't do a simple gradient on a shape. Look how easy this is, right? So I did a simple gradient and I do a nice blend. And guess what? This thing also works with 3D. Look how instant this is. Now I go to the lighting. Don't tell me you can't do this and give it some shape, right? Look at that. And then I send that to the back. And now I've got just, I mean, I'm just doing this randomly, right? I just drew a rectangle. I mean, a triangle, a rectangle. Sorry, wrong angle, right? Okay. And then look at, these are just the built-in materials, right? We did this, we've covered this. I just keep showing it because people don't seem to want to use it. But this is perfect for this type of project, right? Where you're gonna print something on a shirt. Did you put in your I saw that you can find some online and download them, and then you can pay Adobe for extra ones if you want, right? There are some that you need to pay, so that's up to you. I'm just showing you what's built in and what's possible, right? So, oh yeah, 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 yeah. I'm sure there are people right now that are experimenting with Adobe's 3D stuff and making their own textures, and you can go to their website and download them. Like right now, all of a sudden, I got the idea. If anybody's doing any kind of like a sun, right? Like a sun motif. Guess what? You could do this. Watch this. You can make the rays of the sun. I'm just playing around with this. I'm not even doing this on purpose here. And say you wanted it to look like gold. I mean, we have built-in gold textures here, right? Already there. And you can play around a little bit with the lighting. And let's do a little extruding, inflate. Look at that. I mean, I'm not even trying, guys. And everyone here should remember we can do the option rotate. I'm almost done here. It won't take much longer. All right. But don't tell me you can't do something. All right. And Command D. Right. Well, that's looking pretty cool. I'm not even trying. And then I select all these guys, copy, paste in front, and scale those down using my option and my shift.
So is it like
do a rotate? Huh? No. I'm just giving you guys an option. Look at what I just did in a few seconds. What? Yeah, and then maybe I can do my sun here, and I do like a nice orangey, sun. Let me get some red and get rid of the purple. Add a little bit of yellow. Don't tell me you can't do this stuff. It's just because you don't want to. Let's do a little orange, a little orangey, right? So we got some orange going in there. And then don't forget, can we do it like from the center, right? And then I'm going to copy it. Watch this. Copy. I have it in memory. I'm also going to make this one gold. Go to materials, match it up. How about if I paste in front and I do a transparency, right? Watch this. Transparency. So I've got the gold 3D texture. I can go to multiply, right? So simple. Look at the texture. It's really high res now. You know, I can tone this down. I can try some of the other blend modes. Oh, wow. That's pretty interesting. I mean, I'm just showing you it's there for you guys to use, for you guys to be creative, right? Oh, wow. What a trip. Look at that. Oh, I kind of like that one. Let's stick with that, right? I just made this. I group it. Guess what? Another simple drop shadow. You're welcome. Let's blur this out a little bit. Let's do a one blur. Oh, nice. Look at that. I didn't even try and that came out, whatever that's for, right? Okay, I'm gonna delete that. Don't forget, the more 3D stuff you do on one Illustrator file, the more memory hungry it becomes, and it might be slow. Okay. All right. So check this out. Let me save this. And the last thing I'm going to show you guys. Do not forget that we have Vecteezy. I just downloaded these. These are the freebies, right? I know it says baseball. Can I type softball? Of course. But what if I wanted one of these things? Everybody, look. I ungrouped this. There was a lot of stuff on here when I first opened it. Don't be afraid. Remember, use your direct select arrow. When you download some of these free things, do your Command Y to look. There's, for some reason, a weird square around it that's just white. So I selected it with my direct select white arrow. I hit delete a couple times. A lot of times you open this stuff from Vecteezy and everything's grouped like this, right? So you can just come in here, direct select. I'm gonna make a copy. Watch this. Direct select, get rid of everything that you don't want because it is vector. Everybody watching? All right, so I ended up with this one by itself. It is grouped. So I'm gonna ungroup it, Shift Command G or Object Ungroup. I want to get rid of the baseball part in the front, do ungroup again. Sometimes you have to do multiple ungroups. There it is. There's that. All it is copy and paste behind and front, right? Could I make this softball? Get rid of collegiate too, right? And then Burgess, right? That's the school. I always forget how to spell Burgess.
Burgess.
Burgess. Double S? Yeah, right? It's not? Are you sure? All right, I'm gonna look it up. That doesn't look right. Anybody? It's only one S? I've been doing it wrong all these years? I'm messing with you guys. Oh, you guys got triggered right away. My goodness. All right. Everybody got triggered. Here, I'm gonna use
It's like saying I'm gonna put you in the face and say, okay.
I'm gonna use papyrus. I'm gonna use papyrus. I'm gonna use papyrus. Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. And I'm gonna use Comic Sans for the other one. I know you showed me. All right. Softball. Let's call it a softball. All right. Everybody watching? Oops. Soft call. Softball. All right. Let's do bold papyrus. Condensed. No, there's no bold papyrus. We're gonna have to add a stroke to it. All right. So let's do a circle like this and get the text. Copy. Get type on a path. Click there. Paste. Rotate R. Oops. Don't tell me you can't do this. R. Rotate. There we go. Burgess. Do that the same. Copy the softball. Draw another circle. Type on a path. Paste. And then remember, this one's tricky. If you want the softball on the inside, everybody looking, I'm going to zoom in. Notice when you put something on a circle, there's always this weird little T thing here. You come here and you click right on it and you drag it inside. And that puts the text on the inside of the circle because the bottom of my logo here needs it on the bottom. And then you can use your tracking to space it out. Remember, that doesn't stretch it. That gives you tracking. Then you can just hit R, rotate it a little bit. Zoom out. Let's bring this guy over here. Burgess, softball. What colors is Burgess? Purple? Purpley. So let's go here. Purple, look at this. We're not going to show the baseball. We're just using the graphic. Let's find a nice purple. I don't know what the correct Burgess purple is. I'm just going by that. Right? Don't tell me you can't do this. Oh, okay. Very good. Copy. Let's go back over here. That was a free Vecteezy. Paste. Are you sure? Yes, I want to convert it. Blah, blah, blah. Put this in the back. Scale this up. Don't tell me you can't do this. And then maybe move the Ella down a little bit. I don't know. I'm just playing around here. Oh, see, every time you move your graphic, make sure you understand that it's gonna redraw the 3D materials. Now, I found a way around this. This is it. We're ending up here. I'm not saying this is the best design ever, but okay, everybody watch. So once you have your shape done the 3D how you want it, you can expand it also. Check this out. Expand appearance, and all your 3D stuff will go away as far as having to redraw it, but it's the effect is still there. You guys can see it. So you can move it around, you can copy it, and now I won't redraw it every single time. All right. So I'm gonna lock this, Command 2, and I'm gonna scale this other stuff. And I mean, I could do a variety of things. Oops. I'm gonna move the baseball. Hold on. I'm gonna use my direct select arrow. I'm gonna move the baseball up, Command 2. Let's see if it does. Oh, it is. Oh, there it is. Cool. Bring it to the front, right? And I can do a nice little drop shadow. There we go. And now the Ella, we can scale that up. Look at that. So we've got both things going on here. I don't know if this is good or bad, but it's happening.
Baseball and softball.
You can change this to a softball. All right, calm down. Okay, here it goes. Softball. I'm gonna match the green, eyedropper it. How do you like that? Is that okay? Is that better? What about the laces? All right, there you go. Don't tell me you can't do a little Papyrus, Comic Sans, Freebie Vecteezy, what do you call it? What's the word? Mod Podge? Like mix stuff up. All right. Okay. Don't tell me you can't do this. It's just a few minutes. You can do something different, right? You can take your drawing and make it, just give it a little extra. All right. Give it a little extra. I know this is horrible looking, but all right. Right. It's something. All right. I'm gonna save. Okay. One last reminder. I had some students asking me. Everybody look here. So you're gonna put your design, say that this is a good example. Everybody watching? Oh, also outline your fonts on the final one. So I already saved this, but I'm gonna outline my fonts because sometimes in PDFs they mess up. I'm gonna group this, copy. Now, say that you want to do this. Everybody watching? Last step. Use an 8.5 by 11 document. Everybody watch. So you have two options. Everybody look. You paste this. Oh my God, it's ginormous. And you fit it on your 8.5 by 11. Make sure you give it plenty of space around it. And you come over here and you print it out and you did this big printout. And that's what's going to go on your shirt, right? But it's going to be a big rectangle. Or I was telling, I think, Edgar, you can use your designs. And if they scale down okay, you could do multiples and fit them on this paper, right? If you're doing something like a merch style logo, or you want to do a variety of stuff, you can resize them and print as many of these as you can on a sheet, almost like if they were stickers. Yes, you are going to have to manually cut these out, right? But that's okay. And I was telling people you can put them on a sock, you can put them on a handkerchief, you can put them on a beanie, right? You can put them on anything. It doesn't have to be one shirt. And yeah, and if you're smart and you've learned something in here, check this out. Everybody looking? What if you remember we had to cut these out? So could you get the pen tool? Those of you guys who are good with a pen tool and do a nice tracing. Can you guys turn that off or pause it, please? Guys, where has that on? Guys. Thank you. All right. So those of you guys who can do this and you're not good at cutting with the scissors, right? Because remember, we have to cut these out. The machine that cuts these, I mean, we don't have that. But you draw, oh, let's just draw half. Sorry, I meant to just draw half. You draw half a shape. Let me put this on stroke, right? And then you can click off and then go to reflect, double click it, tell it to copy, and then you bring this over. And if you want a symmetrical cut line, right? And then you go here and you just select these 2 points with your direct select, Command J for join. Select these two, Command J for join. Now you have one vector and it's symmetrical, right? If you're trying to do a cut line or do a simple circle, no fill. And I can make this into a cut line just for me to be able to cut it on these transfers, these printouts. And then check this out. I go to stroke and I make it, I don't know, 0.5 thickness. And I select dash line. Everybody look here. I'm going to zoom in for you. 0.5 thickness, dash line. You make it 3 points, 3 tab, 3 tab, 3. And it's a nice little even dash line. And the trick is you make this a very, very light gray. Let's go to our color palette. And this will be a nice guide for you to cut them evenly with a scissors or X-Acto knife. Let's go to color. Don't tell me you can't do this. So under color, you go to stroke and you make it a light gray. So it doesn't print too strong. Almost like a 15% should work. And it'll be very light. Even a 10% will show up. All right. 10%. Everybody looking? And this will print, and then you'll have an exact guide to cut this, and every single one will be the same shape if you're doing something like that, right? That could be a circle, that could be a rectangle, and they're all going to be the exact same size because you'll have a guide to cut them. All right? Yes? That's just like when we do a cut line on the big printer. All right. Now, and by the way, I did see the invoice. Hopefully we get the more sticker paper in the next couple of weeks. It has been ordered. All right. I saw it for sure. All right. That's about it for this. Don't tell me you can't take your design a little bit further if you need to, right? And remember, you can do multiples this way and get multiple garments. Maybe a trip to Hobby Lobby this weekend and you can find a lot of cool stuff. I have that ex-student who came in, he was doing shirts, hoodies, like the wife beater style, or what else do you call those? I know that's not probably a correct name to call them anymore. And he did hoodies and handkerchiefs. He says he bought those handkerchiefs like 50 cents, brand new, right? And he's selling them for like $10 with his logo on them. All right, everybody good?
Yeah.
All right. It still looks weird to me that Burgess was one S, but I'll believe you. All right, stop and